Welcome to another episode of This Thing Called Podcast. You know me, I'm KJ, your host, and today I have another special guest with me. So go ahead and sit back, enjoy your ride. We have a lot to discuss. All right, so we're going to go ahead and kick it, get into our episode. I have B here with me.
What's happening?
Hi, B. He is family. He is friend. He is foe sometimes.
Sometimes.
You know, that's how I be sometimes. You don't
it's a good foe.
Everybody.
It's a good foe.
A good foe. That's
you
right.
Know.
So I have B with me. He decided to join me on my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate that shit.
I have some interesting things to talk to you about. Yes, you
okay,
can,
cool.
But not for the first couple minutes.
Not for the first couple
minutes.
With
YouTube, they could be a little funny. So we're going to try to keep it for the kids the first couple minutes.
Okay. Let me get ready.
And then after that, we're going to get in. So what we're going to do is do our this or that. That's what we do at the beginning, right, y'all? We do our this or that.
All right.
So right here, we should be able to keep it clean. Okay. And then once we get into our topics, have free.
Feel free.
That's the rules.
Open fire.
Open fire.
Let's go.
All right. So we're going to do our this or that. Would you rather? Mm-hmm. So this is our first bow. Would you rather? And while he's pulling his 3 would you rathers.
Pull 3.
3. Again, he tried to sneak a peek at the bowl.
No,
I
didn't know what it was.
I don't know what it is with these guests trying to sneak a peek beforehand. Y'all, it's random. It's a surprise for a reason.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just decoration.
Thought it was it's a bowl with individual things, and he thought it was
decoration. It looked like crystal. I said, this is amazing.
Lord.
They got paper in it all cut up all evenly.
He clearly didn't touch it because it's so plastic. It's thick plastic too, y'all.
It's
so
too
he
expensive.
Didn't even touch it. He just looked at it.
I ain't want to touch nothing I can't buy. Twice.
I know that's right. Twice. Say that. Speak on it. Like them purses with no money in it.
Real quick.
Real quick. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into your would you rathers. You have 3 of them. So you have to open it up and then read exactly what the question is and then answer it.
Would you rather speak to animals or speak 10 foreign languages?
So do you want to speak to animals or speak 10 foreign languages?
You asking me.
I'm asking you, would you rather?
I'd rather talk to animals because in a minute, zombies is going to be humans and they can't talk no way. So I'm like, I'd figure the animals are more likely on my side. That way I can have guard bears and giraffes that I can ride on to get over things that are taller than me. Yeah, man, humans ain't shit. I'm good. I'll do another one.
He talking about, first of all, we gotta go skip past, like you just didn't say something about zombies and protection bears, and he just wanted to skip past all of that. First of all, and then he said the end, humans ain't shit. We gonna end it with that.
Yeah.
Well, he said animals. I mean, so he wants to be a Dr. Doolittle, y'all.
Yeah,
he wants to be Dr. Doolittle.
See, and he was cool. His kids could do it too.
That was right.
It was genetics.
It was.
Hereditary talking to the bears.
That's right, because that was Raven Simone.
See that? And see what happened to her? See how she ended up? She had half her hair shaved up, but she's alive because she can talk to animals.
I'm just saying, she alive.
Would you rather...
Second one.
Sorry, go ahead. Would you rather read your diary or someone read your text messages? Well, since I don't have a diary, I guess I'm going to have to let a motherfucker read my text messages. Ooh. But I ain't got shit to handle.
You don't? So if they went through your text, if I was to pull your phone out right now and go through your text messages, nothing to hide. I can read everything in the text messages, every thread, out loud, to our wonderful people.
100%.
You wouldn't get in trouble.
Nope.
Nobody be mad at you.
Nope.
All your people will still love you.
Absolutely.
Now that's a good man now.
Stand up.
That's a good stand-up man, an honest man. That means he's being honest with everybody in his life.
That's right.
Ain't no surprises.
It's like if you over 18, you shouldn't be lying. You shouldn't be lying to nobody, unless it's the cops. I can understand lying to cops.
We understand the cop portion.
But you 21, you lying to somebody, brother. You gotta do something different. That's all.
But that's more of an internal thing. If you lying to somebody, that's something that you're dealing with internally that you can't really be honest with people, or even with yourself to be honest with people. Because sometimes honesty starts first with you.
I agree with that completely.
All right. His third would you rather.
Would you rather wade through a river of mud or fall into a dumpster? That is hilarious. That shit is said today. I gotta crawl into a dumpster later on after I leave here. I would much rather wade across the river.
He better get in that mud at this point. He like, y'all already know what the second part is, so I'm just gonna get in the mud.
Let's do that.
I can take a shower or bath afterwards, right? We can clean it up.
Getting in no dumpster? The fuck?
Okay, so we're gonna do it a little different.
Yeah.
Usually I have one pull one of both and then the other one pull the other. But I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna pull a couple of would you rathers before we get into that second bowl. All right, let's do that. So I'm gonna pull 2 would you rathers because y'all pretty much know me, but let's have it fun, right? We're gonna be fun for the guest. Okay, so my first would you rather. Would you rather be rich and ugly or poor and good looking? Well, considering the fact that I love myself and I don't think that I'm ugly, but I understand that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I already know what it's like to be poor and good looking. Like, I've been there. I've been broke. Been eating ramen noodles for a couple weeks, getting water out of water faucets or drinking water out the faucet because you can't even afford water bottles. You know what I mean? You can't even afford, $1 pop. So you just drinking water out the faucet, got you some ice, from the faucet that you froze in them 99-cent trays you went and bought, make it a little cold.
With all the cracks.
With all the little cracks, but it made it a little better because, you had the ice in there, made you feel a little more good about yourself. Right. So I done been poor and good looking. Mm-hmm. So I'll try to be rich and ugly. Because you know what? I've never had money. And again, in my personal opinion, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I've never been, not good looking either. I might have had ugly phases as a teenager. I'm not going to say, Everyone has ugly phases, right?
Everybody had that ugly phase.
Everybody got that ugly phase. Whether you a baby, a teenager, everybody got that ugly phase. Yeah. So I'm not saying I didn't have ugly phases. But for sure, majority of my life, I think I've been good looking. So let's be rich and ugly.
Let's go try something different.
Let's go get some money.
Let's go get the bag.
Let's get the bag. I'll spend it with you.
Right quick.
Take trips. I don't care if I'm ugly. I'm rich now.
Right. If I got money, I can pay for my Brittney. I can get that. Get that fixed.
I'm paying for stuff.
Let's try ugly and money.
Period. Okay. Second, would you rather? Would you rather travel the world for a year, all expenses paid, or have $40,000 to spend on whatever you want?
For a year?
So I either have to travel the world for a year, all of my expenses paid. So pretty much free trip year round, go to whatever countries I want to go to, see whatever I want to see. Or I can take $40K and spend it on whatever I want. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to have to get that $40K.
You going to get the bag?
I'm going to have to get the $40K.
You going to get the bag?
And I'm not going to say I'm going to spend it on, clothes or shoes, or purses. I'm not going to go spend all that. I'm going to put it in my businesses. I'm going to, invest it in some things. I'm going to maybe even open up new businesses, invest in other people's businesses that I know are good. So I'm definitely going to make more money off the $40K than what I get, okay? I'm going to be smart with it.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I won't go buy me a purse or two or, an outfit or two. We might have to take 5 of that and just splurge it. But for the most part, I will reinvest it to try to make more than the $40K and then to try to put it back into myself and others. Let's make more money. Because at the end of the day, I can rack up so all paid travel expenses, I say good $1 million easily. Let's go ahead and make that $1 million.
I would have went harder than $1 million, but that's what I'm saying. That's what my first thought was. I would have took the trip because those are experiences that somebody else is paying for.
That's true.
And you can make some contacts. You know what I'm saying? There's people you gonna have money to do some shit with to look good for these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But after you said you could just take that 40 G's and just keep tripling and shit, you could always buy you a private jet and do the same shit.
I didn't think that's true.
You know what I'm saying? But it just take a whole lot longer.
It's going to take you a little bit longer, right? And then you are going to have to pay for all your expenses, all them drinks.
And that's off the table, right? That's off the
all
table.
that food. Right, you are going to have to pay for that, right?
Right.
That's it. Let me know what y'all think. What would y'all do? Would y'all do a full travel, all year expense paid trip? Or would you take $40K and spend it on whatever you want?
I can pick where I want to go, right?
Wherever you want to go. Right. For a whole year, though. So I would assume you could travel different places, wherever you want to go.
Damn. Yeah.
A whole year.
I think that's what I'd do.
Or $40K. Let me know.
You can't buy that, man.
Okay, so now we're going to move to the second bowl. Now, the second bowl is this or that. Okay? So you got to pick 5 of these.
5 of them.
5 of them. And then you have really, there you go. We can do a handful. There you go. And you got to open it up in this or that.
Android or iPhone? I ain't never fucked with an iPhone. I'll be hearing bad things about it, so I'm gonna stick with Android. Yeah, I be having
now,
a whole lot.
iPhone users are like, they all to the gas.
Look, iPhones are the devil.
And I've had one iPhone. To me, Android gives you more freedom. I will say that. So I like Android. I will stick with Android.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Android. Wet or dry? I mean, what are we talking about? Like, are we talking about me?
What?
Are we just pick
whatever.
one?
Pick whatever. If you had to pick, yes, would you rather be wet or dry? B?
I'd much rather be dry. I mean, I'm not gonna choose to be wet. I don't like sweating, so you know what I'm saying. Getting rained on, that shit irritates the fuck out of me. It's a longer story.
Y'all, that's a trauma face. He went through some trauma.
Hey, I was remembering shit. Damn. Hero or anti-hero?
This is a good one for you. I was like, this is a good one for you. So you want to be an anti-hero. Why?
Man, life is too fucked up to be all the way good, man. You gotta be like on the bad side of good. Otherwise, you be fucked up by it. Especially some good motherfuckers you think is good. Like, no, I'm good.
That's probably really true.
You know what I'm saying?
Because sometimes the good turns out to be bad too, right?
And then
so
you be thinking it was good the whole time. That's the worst part about it.
So might as well just be bad the whole time. Just know where I'm coming from. I feel that too.
Yeah.
I'd rather know where somebody's
coming from. Be an asshole
sneaky
so I can say you're an asshole.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, don't be on some little round the corner shit. Instagram or Twitter? I don't be tweeting, man. So I'm gonna stick with IG, man.
And he really just be on TikTok, y'all.
I do be on TikTok like a motherfucker.
Because he don't even be on IG like that.
Actually,
that was a horrible one for him.
Whatever. This is the longest I've been off TikTok since I got it.
And that's been what, 2 hours, B?
Maybe.
Are you going through withdrawals? Look, he can't even say how long it's been.
Maybe.
Look at him twitching, y'all.
Yeah, I don't know my life.
He's going through TikTok withdrawal, y'all. It's been 2 whole hours, and he don't know what to do without TikTok.
Whatever. TikTok is my friend.
But I love me some IG.
TikTok, yeah, IG is
I love IG.
Cool, but it's not as informative. TikTok be dropping jewels, man.
Lord, y'all, he be in that black rabbit hole. Thank you, TikTok, for the wonderful world of senseless information.
I told you. Heard it here first.
I don't know, B, if you want to claim that, but he wants to claim it, so you heard it here first. I'll say it. You heard it here first. He told you.
I told you. Fauci in court right now. They don't be saying nothing about it because he lied about the COVID shots and the vaccines and all of that. They don't be saying shit about it on the news. That's just hilarious.
Now, you know, B, I like to research stuff.
That's
so
what
I'm going to have to go research because I did not know that. So I'm going to have to go research on that.
It's like him and like 19 other motherfuckers. I don't know where.
I'll say, did they lie? What did they lie about COVID? Like how long, or the symptoms, or
they basically about the whole thing. Like they just went about the whole situation, like all the lockdowns, the mask,
all that was
the shots, what COVID was spread by, all of it. The whole thing was a motherfucking ploy, and a lot of people got paid off of it. A lot of people got paid from it, and a lot of people died behind that shit.
Well, I'm not saying a lot of people didn't get paid. You know, all the way down to the vaccine companies, right? Like, I'm not saying mask companies, Lysol, all these new companies now.
Right, toilet paper. That's what I'm saying. Remember when that shit first happened? We bought toilet paper out. And nobody can tell me what we did that for yet.
Because, B, there was still soap. So, I'm like, if just wash your ass.
There was no soap?
No, there was soap. So people,
right, that's what I'm saying. Like, what was the toilet paper for?
But didn't buy soap. So was you just gonna wash your, like, were you gonna wipe your ass X amount of times without washing it? Like, I do agree. I never, to this day, I still don't understand the correlation of buying all the toilet paper.
What was the toilet paper?
I was like, I'm confused. I'm so confused.
Look, all we can do is pray for them. Bless their hearts.
But let's say, speaking of just outsane and crazy and just out there, right? Let's just really quick. I've already talked about it. Go watch my episode 2 headlines. I talk about Kayne West. And even in there, I mentioned that I don't like to give this topic a whole lot of energy just because I believe that he needs healing power and he just needs God to come in and for a protection guard to be around him because he's just going through so many things right now. Talk about it. What are your thoughts on Kayne West? And just everything at this point, how he's moved from, losing his family. Now he has to pay, Kim K $200K for the kids, for, child support. He's divorced. He's lost Adidas. He's no longer a billionaire. He's still going out and doing interviews and saying what he want to say. So it hasn't seemed to stop his belief, I guess.
I want to say he's dropping some new music too.
Oh.
I want to say I've seen some videos being put out on TikTok. Again, TikTok, y'all. Yeah. Now, we're going to just TikTok, grain of salt. But okay, that could be something that, is in the works though too. But all right, this is my thing though. First of all, you got to remember that all this started behind him saying I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jews when I wake up. And I can't be anti-Semitic because we as black people are Jews. Motherfuckers lost their mind like they didn't even see the rest of the motherfucking text. Especially the Jewish people that went on ahead and took that as an anti-Semitic situation. But it wasn't the fact that he said he was going DEFCON 3. He said he called black people Jews. You call, it's real. If I said I was Muslim, wouldn't nobody give a fuck. If I said I was Chinese, wouldn't nobody give a fuck. If I identified as a Jew, you got a big ass smoke. You know what I'm saying? Come on, miss me with that shit. So they had to hit him where it hurts. They had to take his money. That shit didn't break him. So as far as the family and losing his family and all of that shit was in the works way before any of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had been medicated before. He went on documentation saying that his trainer, who was a special intelligence for some country, I want to say Canada, was telling him how he's gonna fucking around, throw him back in the insane asylum and dope him up and all that shit, like some real sinister ass shit. And these are the people that surround his children. You know what I'm saying? This is his handlers. You know what I'm saying? So for him to come from that situation to getting on live camera and saying my mom was a sacrifice, Bill Cosby's son was a sacrifice, Michael Jordan's father was a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? That's balls. You know he can die for that shit. Yeah. Especially now, because motherfuckers believe in that shit. That shit's be coming out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I hope
he get murked for that unalived.
Right. Like, I hope he would have known the consequences and risk. I would have hoped someone would have told him. Now, whether he choose to believe it or not, like, we're all still grown people, right? Like I said, he still made a choice to do what he wanted to do, regardless of what he knew or did not know. Right. And no one can stop any grown person from doing what they want to do. That's just what it is. Right.
Free will.
Free will, period. Not even God. God gives everybody free will. So that can't stop nothing. So, it's just interesting. Again, I definitely saw healing prayers and, healing energy to him.
Yeah, in his family.
Because his family, just everything. At the end of the day.
For his mental health especially.
Mental health for sure. Because I was just going to say, I don't want anything to happen to him. I know that even in the world of our social media, other celebrities have come out and said that the comments and things that people leave you in your DMs could just be crazy and outrageous. Yeah. Like, we have to stop this toxic environment to, like, just go at somebody, because we're all humans, right? All of us cannot take the same level of stuff. Like, could you take 10,000 people coming at you and telling you all this hateful stuff? It bogs down on a person. Mm-hmm. So I definitely pray for his mental health, send him healing energy, because he definitely needs it. And I see him being bigger and better. If he just get through this wave, get through the storm, it's sunshine on the other side. Right on. And then, I guess, to skip topics from, kind of rough, not so happy news to good news, Brittney was released.
Yo, I am fucking happy. I am very, very fucking happy.
And at this point, she's back in the United States. They said she was going to
San Antonio.
She's already here? Yep, she's already here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She was going straight to San Antonio for medical care and to reconnect with her family and everything. So, the big talk is she cut off her locks.
Did she?
Yep, she cut off her locks to prepare for the harsh Russia winter. So she now no longer has the locks. The winters can get pretty bad over there.
Yeah, she cut her locks before she got here. I see what you're saying.
Yes, she did.
I see what you're saying.
Yes, because their winters are rough, so that can freeze your hair up, brittle. Just
they might have did that shit. They might have did that shit on GP on some torture shit, son.
They could have to.
All right, look. This is how I feel about Russia. First of all, that was a power play by Putin. I feel like if he could have asked for anybody in the motherfucking world. He asked for the OG arms dealer of the world. Like, he's supposed to be like, you seen Lord of War with Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
That's what it's based on.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's that dude.
Russia has already went and bombed Ukraine.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, in a time of war, y'all give them all the guns. So, I'm gonna tell you my stance on it. And because I will say this.
I am proud of the United States for not giving in when Putin originally asked for the trade-off, because that was months ago. And I want to say that in the same light, I do not like that Brittney was in prison for those remaining months that she was, because they asked for this swap like 6 months ago, 8 months ago.
Who did?
Russia.
Why did? Oh, because they didn't want the arms dealer to go.
Well, yes. Well, okay. Russia asked for the swap. Once her whole case got wrapped up and she got the 9 years, they immediately asked for the prison swap. America was like, no, we're not going to do it. I agree with America was saying that at the time, because Russia, and this is my petty side coming out, people. I am not going to give you, you're not going to back me into a corner and then I give you what you want when you want it.
Right on.
Hell no. You're going to wait for it. I might still give it to you, right? But
you're
going to wait until I give it to you on my terms. So that's why I say I applaud America for waiting and doing it on their terms and when they wanted to. Again, I didn't want Brittney locked up for those months. That's not what I'm saying. But I understand that terminology. Oh, yeah. But I think the administration did it because it was a power play, because Brittney is a black woman that is LGBTQ and a basketball player.
Indeed.
That is a weasel.
Indeed.
Those are some major hitting voting groups that you are talking about for the 2024 election.
You don't want to smoke with none of them. Not at once.
You don't want to smoke with none of them.
Not at once.
Paul should be released as well.
I think he should have been. Did they? All right, this is what I don't know. I don't remember if they gave the U.S. a choice between Brittney or this guy. They just told, this is who you gonna have and this is what I want.
Well, okay, I will say this. In the public eye, it was never discussed that Paul was a part of the talking negotiations. Okay. That's how Paul came back up, because everybody was upset.
What happened to him?
That they were trying to trade Brittney, and he's been locked up for years over there. Yeah. And if you don't know anything about Paul Whelan, again, got my notes, do my research. If you don't know, go look him up. But he was locked up in prison in Russia for an espionage charge, where they believe he's a spy.
They do believe he's a spy, but he actually went out to dinner with a Russian friend and gave them a USB with Russian corporate security info on it. Yes. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with the government or if it's a corporation. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like a business, like an actual, like just business, not the actual government in Russia.
Well, from what I understand, and this is how I think the Russia government played it, because we know they can be dirty and playing with words. I think how they used it was the friend that he was with was a military friend that had a special title in the military. So with that special friend, although they were just friends, because we all have friends that are our friends, and then they're in the military. Is there. Yeah, or they have a special title or a certain clearance, right? We still have to be mindful of our interaction, even if it was even a friendly flash drive.
Because he's Marine.
Because he's ex-Marine, because his friend is in the Russian military, and they're swapping flash drives in public.
What's on your USB?
I mean, I'm just saying, what's on the USB? What's on your USB? Right? It could have been food recipes. It could have been family photos, vacation photos, or it could have been all of Russia's military information, right? Like, we don't know what was on the hard drive, right? We don't. But according to Russia, it was special Russian, government information that was exchanged. And so that's why he got 16 years, though. He got 16 years for his.
That's big enough over there, though, especially if you foreign. They looking at you like, motherfucker, please. You ain't never could even hear now.
I mean, just to touch on it, he was born Canadian, but he also had a dual citizenship in... two other countries. I can't think of them right now, but I believe it was 2 other countries. So you had them looking up your name and seeing that already in any country is going to bring smoke, right? In any country, you need to be mindful. He had already said that he felt people were watching him years that he had been traveling back and forth to Russia. You should have been on your P's and Q's, homeboy.
That's why he wasn't even on the table for negotiation. Like, we're not even talking about this guy.
No, we're not about to talk because, and again, I mean, I don't know what's on the flash drive. You don't know what's on the flash drive. If any of y'all know what's on the flash drive, please let us know. But none of us have personally seen the flash drive to know what it contains. So again, it could have been family photos, or it could have been all of the government's, spies and secret information that we don't know about. We don't know what was exchanged there.
It could be government porn.
It could have been government porn. I mean, how do we know? We don't know. But according to Russia, it was some secrets that shouldn't have been swapped. So he got 16 years. And I'm not saying he should be stuck in there, because I think he should come home too, right? Especially if he did not do the crime. Right. And even before Brittney being released, I had went and read an article just about how harsh their prison system is and how it's like really just a forced work labor type of deal. And they force the workers to work like 16, 18-hour days. You're lucky to get 3-4 hours of sleep. Even in the work, if one worker doesn't meet their quota or doesn't do something right or messes something up, everybody gets punished. So now you're pitting prisoners against themselves. Because if you fuck up,
you gave me fucked up. Now I'm gonna fuck you up.
We all fucked up. So I'm like, yes, I'm about to fuck you up now. And it was women that had already went through the prison system themselves, so they personally witnessed it. Like they survived it, but they know what it's like. They was like, it's torture. They was like, if you are weak, if you are young, if you are old, you're not gonna make it. You have to be able to hold yourself and be able to be strong.
Let me ask you something. I'm not being funny. Is Brittney, is she transgender or is she just lesbian?
I believe that she's just lesbian.
Okay. I wasn't being funny. I really do not know but I'm bringing it up because in Russia that means something.
It does.
Being gay is just by itself will get you murked.
Thank you. I said just
you know
being
what I'm saying?
gay in itself, but you step into that whole transgender thing.
Right. That's a whole nother field.
Yeah. So I do get the question. I haven't looked it up. So based on my assumption, what I've seen, she is just a lesbian. Okay. I believe that she was born female, things like that, and she, identifies as that, and she has. I know she has a wife, so I know.
I seen I heard somebody on the court, female.
Yeah.
I figured.
So I know she does have a wife. So I mean, again, shout out to Brittney. She's home. We're glad that she's home.
Welcome home.
We hope that Paul does come home too. If he did not do the crime, it's hard in that case. I can say Brittney, she had less than like a gram of weed on her, like cannabis oil. Like I could be like, come on, 9 years, like come on.
That's Russian for you.
I get the whole spy espionage.
That makes sense. That's why he got 16 years though.
Even United States takes that charge seriously, right? We don't let nobody just fly on that charge. So that type of charge, it makes it difficult for me to really have a stance in it. Because if he did do the crime, he should do the time. If you was out trading military secrets and you got caught, that's what you get.
So period. He never got convicted of this?
No, he got convicted. He got convicted. Yes, he's convicted 16 years.
All right.
His family is still working to try to get him out. Last I read about it, recently he has some medical issues. But what's the fight?
If you already been convicted, like how do you go get him out?
Well, I think because of with Brittney, right? I think that as a family, you always feel like, the United States, yes, because he's American, the United States is always going to do something or try.
I got you.
The problem with that thing is America could try all day long, but if Russia is not trying to relinquish, it's like a dead fight here. And from what I've been reading about Paul, especially of the recent things like his medical issues and things that has transpired, it doesn't look like Russia letting their foot up on him. They keeping their foot on his neck, okay?
That's fucked up.
And it's messed up because he's had to even tell his family, if I don't hear from you, if you don't hear from me in 3 days, call the embassy. Make sure I'm okay. Make sure that they get somebody at that prison to check on me to make sure I'm okay. That's deep.
Russia is hard,
That's
man. Yeah.
Keep your ass here. Keep your ass here. We might got Trump and all of them, but I'll deal with Trump before Putin. One more little topic. Congress. What do you think about Congress passing the Respect for Marriage Act? You know anything about that? Respect for Marriage Act.
Respect for Marriage Act. Mm-hmm. No, I've never heard of this.
Now, as soon as Biden signs it into law, which he said that he's willing to do, I haven't heard that he's done it yet. Maybe with all the Brittney and everything going on, he's been tied up. But federally now, once Biden signs it into law, the same-sex couples, same-sex marriages now have federal protection. Like all of that. They didn't have federal benefits. There were a lot of benefits that they did not get. They weren't recognized as a marriage, things like that.
Like, wait, they weren't recognized as a marriage?
No, because, in the Constitution...
Oh, you mean federally?
Yeah,
So certain states could say no?
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now it just changes the ballgame. Not saying that it still doesn't give the states that availability, but it gives it more of a ballgame, right? Like, when you change something federally, now it will probably start opening up more on the state level if it hadn't already did so.
You're going to think I'm trying to dodge the question, but every time somebody talk about the LGBTQ community, I keep thinking about the fact that they're trying to add pedophiles to their list underneath their umbrella. Mm-hmm. I think about all the kids that have been hurt and, like abused and exposed to like trans and not trans, but drag at schools and all the doctrination that they're trying to do with the pamphlets and teaching your kids to go ahead and get sex changes and hormones and all of that. Like, that's what I think of when I hear that type of shit. And then I'd be like, they get rights like that, or like, you know what I'm saying? But when it come down to like the basic shit we need as a people, we be stepped over. I feel like when you make it a law federal, you're condoning it, and then my kids see it, and now they don't think like objectively, because the system isn't letting me teach them.
Yeah.
They're too busy, you know what I'm saying, putting things in their head that's not their place to put.
I agree.
Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't need a teacher to parent my kid. You know, I am the parent. I'll parent my kid. You teach them how to, you know what I'm saying, read, write, math, all that good stuff.
1,
right.
2, 3.
Right, there you go. And I'm gonna teach them about life, and that be that. You stay in your lane, man. You don't. That's not your business. How I raise my kid, that's how I raise my kid. And even if I am, if I was straight, you wouldn't want me going into your house teaching your gay child to be heterosexual.
That's true.
You'd have a big ass beef, right? Well, it's the same thing.
That's facts.
It's the same thing.
Because I don't agree with them sharing the bathrooms. I don't agree with them trying to put it into the same.
That's how kids get
sporting
raped.
Events and things like that. Yes,
that's how kids get hurt.
At the end of the day, as an 8-year-old, as a 12-year-old, heck, as a 14-year-old, you barely know your body. You barely know what is what, how to put stuff where, what you're supposed to do with it. Right. You can't possibly really know that you want to be a whole nother sex or a whole
You're
nother
not even
gender.
Sexual. How are you going to pick your sex? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
I'm not
I'm
trying to talk about nobody.
No, I'm not either. But I am saying, but logically speaking, it's about being influenced.
It is, because
you're 4 years old. You don't know what sex is. How you gonna fuck around and think you want to be a girl?
And I'm just gonna say this: Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle.
That's real. That's it. See, hear me when I say this. I love both of them. Dwayne Wade, I've loved his basketball. My family's a basketball family. I've always watched him play. Dope player. Gabrielle Union, watched her videos. Bring It On, Deliver Us from Evil, all of them. Like, I've watched it. I love her as an actress, but I still cannot grapple how they have parented their child to where she has gotten to. And I'm always going to respect her. Her name is Zaya. That's what she wants to be called. She wants to be a female. So I'm going to respect that at this point. Because I believe respect is key amongst all of us as humans. But on a parenting level, I just don't understand how you allowed her to get to that decision. And again, I don't have to know, right? Who am I to know what conversations you have in your home behind your closed doors? But I would just like to know, did you have in-depth conversations? Did you really sit down and explain certain things? What were those conversations? Or did you not? And did you let certain influences come in and you just ran with it? Because, yeah, you can now monetize off of it. I'm going to say it. I think they induced it.
That's what the mama's saying. That's what the birth mother is saying.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The birth mother does not mess with it. She does not agree with it. She believes they're doing it all for the clout, for the money, for the likes, for the fame of it.
And you know what?
And I would hope that would not be the case.
I saw something with Dwayne Wade in a dress. I'm not sure. It was just like an ad or something, like a picture or something like that. But that's that type of ritual shit that they go through in order to be famous. And you gotta think, she's an actress. She goes through little doors. She goes through those doors. She gotta be at those parties.
He's an NBA player, so
he's at them same parties.
Thank you. That's how they rubbed elbows together and got together, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's how that happened. So exactly,
She's handsome as hell.
Going back to the original topic, I'm glad that the same-sex couples can have their same respect and have their same benefits and things as any other couple.
I'm all for people respecting each other.
Love how you want to love.
Yeah.
And outside of all of it, I get it. It's a sticky situation. It's a fine line, but you do what you're going to do in your household. I'm going to do what I'm going to do in mine. You handle your kids. I'm going to handle my kids.
Thank you.
And that's just what we're going to do in life. But we're going to respect each other.
Right.
As long as respect is there, that's all that matters.
I ain't got no problem.
Period. Love who you want to love. Sleep with who you want to sleep with.
Go ahead.
All right, B. I think this was a good conversation, a good talk. We talked about a lot. We talked about a lot. Yeah, man. But it was good to have you on here.
I'm going to come back, man. I'm going to come back next week. Next time we do it.
We might just give them another episode.
Maybe.
Let us know. Let us know if you want another episode. Like, comment, let us know. Because we'll give you another one.
And I'm going to tell you how the earth is flat.
Okay, that's what we'll talk about in the next one then.
It's in the Bible.
Oh, it's in the Bible. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us for this episode of This Thing Called. Again, every Friday we are here with you, dropping a new episode. Go check me out on all of the streaming platforms that podcasts do stream on. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. I am there for you, this thing called podcast. Then go ahead, like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube and any other social media platform that you follow us on. See you guys next week. Have a great week.
I know you feel like they ain't really with you. I know you feel like they ain't really with you. Got you feeling they ain't really with you. Yeah, you feel like they ain't really